think Netflix and Chill is definitely in the running for one of the happiest songs I think I've ever heard. It's probably because I was playing this song when we were camping with my mates and we were all pissed in a field just like dancing around. But that is exactly, I think, the kind of vibe that you should have with a band like Nuclear Power Trio. Hi guys, welcome back, and hello if you are new. I hope all of you are doing really well and having a great week so far. As I'm sure you can tell, I've had a haircut. But I'm not here to talk about my hair. I am here to talk about Vladi P, Donny and Kimmy. 3 absolutely incredible shred musicians and awful people. So with that in mind, I love a concept more than anything out there when it comes to music. But at the end of the day, the most important thing about creating music is that it's fun. And this band are literally the epitome of what fun is when writing music. So without further ado, I'm going to be reviewing Nuclear Power Trio's brand new album, Wet Ass Plutonium. So if you're not familiar with this band, they are an instrumental project which is formed of Donny, Vladi P and Kimmy. And this album is a combination of progressive metal, 80s synths, like shred harp. There's also nylon string kind of classical guitar as well, salsa. There's so much stuff here, saxophones that is going on. And throughout the album, the biggest thing for me is the hooks. This record really has amazing hooks, tracks like Netflix and Chill, Snark Side of the Un, and also Wet Ass Plutonium, the title track. They've all got really great anchor points for these kind of melodies, which makes the song overall very memorable. I would say most importantly, right, just don't take this too seriously. This album is about just a bit of fun. The kind of core part of this band, I would say, is the bass. Like Apocalypse Mal's verse section, for example, has that, a proper slap in the bass. And, the guitar, in terms of tone, is really great. It has that sort of crunch to it, but it can dial back, for example, the end of Wet Ass Plutonium, and also Air Force Fun and Vamos Bandito, which is kind of like more of a Spanish flamenco style guitar. But it sounds really nice because it's got that nylon string to it. And there's also, guest solos that appear throughout this album as well. I think Scott Carstairs is on Snark Side of the Un. I want to say that Chris Broderick is also on anti-saxes as well. And that sounds kind of similar to what his sort of style would be. But then you've got the shred harp, which kind of comes in for Air Force Fun, which is basically kind of led by that for the whole song. And anti-saxes is, based around, as you can imagine, saxophone, which has this cool trade-off, in terms of solos, which I thought was cool. But the end of the album, Red Scare, Bear Stare, starts with, I think it's Clair de Lune, which, if you've ever played The Evil Within, it just makes me think of that game now, because that was the sort of melody whenever you got near like a save point. But it's a really beautiful kind of classical piece, and, kind of adds a little bit more difference, especially because it's the final track on the album. But I have to say, I think Netflix and Chill is definitely in the running for one of the happiest songs I think I've ever heard. It's probably because I was playing this song when we were camping with my mates and we were all pissed in a field just like dancing around. But that is exactly, I think, the kind of vibe that you should have with a band like Nuclear Power Trio. One thing I really, really loved is how it sort of like ramps up the tension, especially where songwriting is concerned on that track. You know, it kind of like slowly but surely kind of brings in the bass, and then you get a guitar, and then you get the bass and the guitar and another level of guitar, and then it all kind of comes together for this grand finale section of the song. But you can also tell that 80s synths, as I mentioned, were a big, influence on this, and Apocalypse Mao is littered with it. Whereas kind of Critical Bass Theory has it more in a kind of lead capacity. If you look beyond the ridiculousness of the characters, then you will find some of the finest instrumental music this year by an incredibly talented band. It's like my feel-good hit of the summer, I guess, to quote Queens of the Stone Age. It's just a good, fun album. It's not going to be my album of the year, but it's a hell of a good time. So I definitely recommend you guys listen to this. And for that reason, I'm going to give the album an 8 out of 10 because it's just fun. So thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know what you think underneath me and also the album as well. I've got some really cool stuff with Horrendous and Earn coming up, interviews with both of those bands, and I'll be reviewing the albums as well. So make sure you stick around. Thank you so much for watching, and if you could hit that like and subscribe, that would be amazing. And I will see you guys next week for another album review.